the father has gone to the church. When the girl and the father has gone to the church, they came to know that that man was a thief. And when they come back, the man was not there, but he has left a small present for the Iron Man's daughter. And when she opened that, she found that there was a small rat trap, and in that there was three wrinkled 10 notes. And with this, she gave a little cry of joy.
Yes, we have not read this part. I think you are reading doing self-reading. Very good. Very good. She has told you what is going to happen next also. We left the reading up to that part only when the servant told that he had left, but he had not stolen anything. Instead, on the contrary, he left a little package, which Adla would be very kind if she accepted that Christmas present. Yes, anyone who would let me know what was the fear in the mind of the Iron Master when they went to church? And what news did they get? Raise your hands quickly. What news did they get in the church? And what was the fear in the mind of the Iron Master? Yes. I think no other student is reading the story or listening carefully. Only one student is raising hand. Yes. Matthew beta, yes.
Yes, ma'am. At the church, they get the news that the old crafters of the ironworks had been robbed by a man who had went around selling rat traps, and the fear in his mind was uh, that the peddler was also in his home, and he has fear of things of his home being stolen by the peddler.
What particular thing did he mention?
He mentioned the silver spoons.
Yes, he just told his daughter that he might have left their house, and how many silver spoons he had stolen, nobody knows. That was the fear in his mind, because they came to know this news in the church. It was in talks among all people that there was an old rat trap seller who had stolen the money from the old crofter's cottage. So they understood that it was the same man, because they have seen him having rat traps on his shoulders. So he was in doubt that he might have stolen some things from their home, and he might have run away when they go back from the church. So they were in very hurry. And when the wagon hardly stopped at the front steps, the Iron Master asked the valet whether the stranger was still there. Starting from paragraph number 3 on this last page. When they reached home, their wagon stopped in front of their house, and quickly he asked the valet whether the stranger was still there. He added that he had heard at church that the man was a thief. The valet answered that the fellow had gone, that he had not taken anything with him at all. On the contrary, he had left behind a little package which Miss Wilmanson was to be kind enough to accept as a Christmas present. So he told the things to the servant also. And on the contrary, they came to know that he left, but he had left a package, a gift for Christmas present for Wilmanson. The young girl opened the package, which was so badly done up that the contents came into view at once. That means he was not a good packer. He did not know all these things. So it was not good packing that was done. When the young girl opened that packet, which was very badly done, the contents were easily seen from that package. She gave a little cry of joy. She felt very happy and started shouting. She found a small rat trap, and in it lay 3 wrinkled 10 more notes. What she saw, that it was a small rat trap, and in that rat trap there were 3 wrinkled 10 more notes, but that was not all. सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं था. Not only the rat trap and the notes, in the rat trap lay also a letter written in large jagged characters. उसके अंदर एक लेटर भी पड़ी थी which was written in large jagged means in a very rough handwriting, rough edges, pointed edges, बहुत अच्छी कोई handwriting नहीं थी उसकी, and something was written on that letter. What was that? That is given to you in the inverted commas. Can anyone tell me from where these 3 wrinkled 10 notes came to him? उसके पास ये नोट कहाँ से आए? Yes. Yes, I want Pranavori.
Ma'am, these are those notes which he had stolen from the old man.
Yes, these were the same notes which he had stolen from the old crofter's house, where he stayed there for a night, who was very hospitable to him, and he just welcomed him. They had good time playing games and eating and enjoying on the tobacco. So that these were the same notes which he kept in the rat trap. And in the letter, what was written? Honored and noble miss. See, he addressed that girl in a very respectable manner. Honored and noble miss, since you have been so nice to me all day long, as if I was a captain, I want to be nice to you. The first thing, if she was very nice to him, so he also wanted to be nice to her. And he was treated as a कैप्टन, कहता आपने बहुत अच्छा मेरे साथ बिहेव करा, बहुत अच्छे से आपने मुझे ट्रीट करा, एंड यू कंसिडर्ड मी एज कैप्टन, so I also want to give you the same respect. For says I in return, as if I was a real captain, for I do not want you to be embarrassed at this Christmas season by a thief. And you treated me as a real captain, gave me that respect of a captain, and I don't want that you should feel embarrassed, ashamed due to me at this Christmas festival by a thief. That means being a thief, I don't want to embarrass you by doing anything wrong. I also want to pay back in the same way as you did with me. That means you behaved nicely, and I also want to behave in a nice way. But you can give back the money to the old man to the roads on the roadside who has the money pouch hanging on the window frame as a bait for poor wanderers. Please underline this thing. He said that that poor person, old crafter, had kept the money on the window frame in the pouch hanging as a bait for the poor wanderers. कि जो गरीब wanderers हैं उनके लिए अगर ऐसी चीजें रखी जाएंगी तो उनका मन तो ललचाएगा ही. So he had kept this money open, मतलब उसने कहीं अंदर अपनी तिजोरी में या सेफ में कहीं अंदर नहीं पैसे रखे हुए, उसने बाहर ही अपना पाउच जो है किया हुआ है विंडो फ्रेम के ऊपर. इट इज केप्ट एज ए बेट फॉर द पुअर वॉन्डरर्स, और जो पुअर वॉन्डरर्स है उनके लिए तो ये ऑटोमेटिकली इट विल वर्क एज टेम्पटेशन, एज अ बेट. So I request you to give this money back to that old man who lived on the roadside. He had just made a request that the money which was kept in the rat trap should be given back to that crofter. So the rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat who would have been caught in this world's rat trap if he had not been raised to a captain, because in that way he got power to clear himself. See what he's telling. He says this rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat. Who is a rat here considered? He considered himself as a rat. The paddler considered himself as a rat, and he said that this is a Christmas present. This rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat who would have been caught in this world's rat trap. कि अगर ऐसा नहीं होता, that means अगर आप अच्छा behave नहीं करते या आप मेरी life में ना आते, मुझे ना मिलते, तो शायद वो रैट जो है वो इस दुनिया के इस रैट ट्रैप में फंस जाता. If he had not been raised to the captain, if you had not given me that respect of a captain, if you had not treated me with that respect and honor as you have done, I would have been caught into this world's rat trap, because in that way he got power to clear himself. And now that man has got the power, he is referring to himself. Now he is getting the power to clear himself. That means to leave this bad habit of stealing, to leave this bad work of stealing. So he had made up his mind. He wanted to come on the right track, and he does not want to be entrapped in this rat trap of this world. in the materialistic positions, in the temptations which this world offer. So he said that he would have been caught into this world's rat trap if he had not been raised to the level of the captain. That means if that girl, Adla, had not given him that respect or honor and had not treated her just like a captain, he would have not come out of this trap, and this has given him the power. That means the behavior, sympathetic, compassionate, generous behavior, and the honor and the respect given by that girl has raised him to that level that he got the power to clear himself. कि अपने मन को clear करना. That means leaving the wrong ideas and the idea of stealing. Now he would come out of that. Written with friendship and high regard, Captain von Stelle. And what did he sign at the end on the letter? That it was written with friendship and with high regard, means with great respect, by Captain von Stelle. Because he was raised to the level of the Captain von Stelle by giving respect and honor by this girl. So he considered himself as Captain von Stelle and paid back the same respect and honor to that girl. So we have seen that how the kind, compassionate, and sympathetic behavior of this girl, Christian behavior, which we can say the good qualities of humanitarian nature, raised and awakened the goodness in this man who had just lost everything, and he was just begging and stealing and trying to get something for his livelihood, and that means going on the wrong track by stealing the things. And he came here also with the same idea. When he kept quiet, that iron master might give him some notes, some rupees, some couple of notes, and at that time also he was tempted. But now he realized, with the respect and the honor and raising the level of that peddler to a captain by this girl, that made him realize that he was on the wrong track and he should leave it. So it is only the behavior of this girl at the Wilmanson that changed his attitude towards life, and now thinking himself at the level of a captain, he just thought that he would leave all these wrong, stealing and other things. Yeah. Now look at the questions, and if you have any problem, you can ask before that. Any line or any word that is not clear, you can raise your hands and ask your questions. Yes. No problem. Then come back to page number 37. Because the questions are given on page 34 that we have already discussed. Come to page 37. Let's have the discussion of those questions. Yes. Please raise your hands, come forward, participate in the discussions. Yes, Kanika. Yes, beta. Read the first question.
What made the paddler think that he had indeed fallen into a rat trap? The paddler realized that he must not walk on the public highway with the stolen money in his pocket. He went into the woods. He kept walking without coming to the end of the wood. Then he realized that he had fallen into the rat trap. He had let himself be fooled by a bait and had been caught in.
Yes. When he was walking on the public highway and he was having that stolen money in his pocket. At that time, he realized that he need not to walk on the main road, should go to the woods, because at that time he felt that he had fallen into the rat trap. It was his turn because he was attracted by the bait and had been trapped into that circle. Next question. Gurveer Kaur.
Yes, ma'am. Why did the Iron Master speak kindly to the paddler and invite him home? The Iron Master thought that the paddler was his old acquaintance and he thought he was Nils Olf. So he invited him for the so he spoke to him kindly and invited him to his home for Christmas Eve.
Yes, the Iron Master was walking very closely up to the peddler. He saw his face, and he was certain when he looked at his face that he was a man of some old acquaintance. He mistook the man as his old regimental comrade, Captain Monstrelli, and he addressed him with the name of Niels Hall as he spoke him, and just invited him for the Christmas Eve because he was also suffering from loneliness. He wanted the company of someone to celebrate this Christmas Eve, so he invited him as his old friend. Okay. Yes, next question. Ketan Sethi.
Yes, ma'am. Why did the peddler decline the invitation? The peddler knew that the Iron Master has mistaken him from the regimental comrade. Secondly, also he has stolen the money from the old crofter, that is 30 nodes. So he decided not to accept the invitation, as he thought that it would be like entering in a lion's den.
Yes, it would be just like putting himself into trouble. Weinstein here refers to putting himself into trouble. कि वो जानबूझकर अपने आप को खतरे में डालेगा if he went along with the peddler, because he knew that he was not the same man as Iron Master was addressing him, Niels Olf or old regimental comrade, captain. And second thing, he had stolen the money, so he was having fear about that also, that he would be caught. So he declined or refused his invitation. It's coming to the next page. On page 41. On to the next questions given on page 41. Yes, Jesse, clear. Next question, beta. Jesse. Manya.
Yes, ma'am.
First
The
question.
compassionable and the friendly manner shown by Edla Wilmanson
Please
made
read
the
the
peddler
question.
accept.
First, read the question.
What made the peddler accept Edla Wilmanson's invitation?
Yes.
The friendly manner shown by Edla Wilmanson made the peddler accepted her invitation. She assured him that he will be allowed to leave them as freely as he came. So he felt confidence in her and agreed to go to their house.
Yes, her friendly manner, her compassionate manner, and her assurance that he would leave whenever he wanted after the Christmas Eve made him confide in Adla Manson, and he agreed. Though she had a doubt, she was having a doubt that the man was afraid of something, but still she wanted someone's company on the Christmas Eve, and she convinced him and accepted the invitation. Next question is Jasmine.
Yes, ma'am. What doubts did Edla have about the peddler? When Edla went to the iron mill to invite the peddler for the Christmas Eve, she noticed that she was the peddler was frightened, and she observed that he looks as the peddler has stolen something or escaped from the prison. And he didn't seem to be an educated man as he was claimed by her father, the Iron Master. This also shows us that Edla was a keen observer also.
Yes, she had doubts when she looked at his face that the man was afraid of something. Either he had stolen the money or he had escaped from the jail. And then coming home, again, she had a doubt that the man did not seem to be educated, as his father, her father, Iron Master, told that he was a captain, he was an old regimental comrade, but she had a doubt for that also. Yes, next question. Question number 3. Kashvi.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Kashvi.
When did the Iron Master realize his mistake? When the peddler entered the room, he was clean and well dressed. The Iron Master looked at him carefully in the broad daylight and came to know his real identity. He realized that it was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance.
Yes. Next morning, the stranger was cleaned and well dressed. The servant helped him to bath, to cut their hair, and to shave, and he was led in the dining room for breakfast. The Iron Master saw him in the broad daylight, and it was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance now, because in the dim light of the furnace, he was not able to identify or recognize the man, but now he did not make any mistake, and he identified that it was not the same man which he had been thinking. So he realized his mistake and even threatened him that he would call the sheriff. Yeah. Yes. Next question. Ashwinder Kaur.
Ma'am, how did the peddler defend himself against not having revealed his identity? Answer, when the Iron Master recognized him and he understood that he was not the man he was thinking. So the Iron
Your
Master
question.
charged.
Read the question from the book. What did the peddler say in his defense? They're answering for question number 4 now. Read the
Yes,
question
ma'am.
from the book. Your question is different. You may have the same answers, but take the text questions first. What did the peddler say in his defense when it was clear that he was not the person the Iron Master had thought he was? What did the peddler say in his defense?
Ma'am, when the Iron Master recognized the peddler and he understood that he wasn't the man he was assuming, so the Iron Master charged the peddler for not revealing his true identity. The peddler defended himself and he said that it wasn't his fault and he had never pretended to be he had not pretended to be anything. He was a poor trader and he had only begged to be allowed to stay in the forge.
Yes, he defended himself by explaining that it was not his fault and he did not try to pretend anything or his old acquaintance. All along, he had maintained that he was a poor trader. He was only kept saying this thing and he begged and pleaded that he wanted to have a shelter in the forge only for that night. And moreover, he had not done any harm by staying there. So he was willing to put on his rags, leave their clothes, and go away. Next question. Nishant.
Why did Adela still entertain the peddler even after she knew the truth about him? When the Iron Master recognized the peddler's true identity, he asked him to get out of the house immediately, but Adela opposed this decision. Sympathetic nature is shown here by Adela. Moreover, she was not able to get away with the idea that all her preparations would go waste after the peddler was gone from the house.
Yes. First thing that she's shown as a very kind, compassionate, and having Christian views that were, and she did not think it proper on their part to chase away a man whom they had asked to come to their home and they had invited them on the special eve of Christmas. Moreover, she had prepared the dishes and she did not want that a man should go hungry from their home on that particular Christmas Eve. So she understood the reality of the peddler's life also and wanted that he should enjoy at least one day of peace and get full meal. That's why she entertained the peddler, even knowing the truth about him and even going against the wish of her father. Okay. Coming to the next page, on page 42, again 2 questions are given. Yes, quickly raise hands, those who have not answered. Those who have answered, please lower your hands. Yes, Jessie, beta, will you be able to unmute?
Why was Edla saved
Yes,
by
read the question back. Yes, beta. I think some network issue. You are not able to. Your voice is cracking. Your voice is cracking, beta. Not clear. Yes, Sanjana Virti. Sanjana Virti. Sanya.
Yes, ma'am. Uh, why was why was Edla happy to see the gift left by the peddler? Edla was happy to see gift left by the peddler because the news about the robbery had left her very sad. But when she with her father reached home, she was overjoyed uh, to find the package and the letter left by the peddler. She found a small rat trap and in it laid three wrinkled 10 notes. So this gesture of peddler really made her happy.
Yes. She was happy to see the gift left by the peddler. The very important and the main point here is that he had not stolen, that he had not, Edla was happy to see the gift left by the peddler because yes, Adla was very happy to see the gift left by the peddler because the very important thing that she felt good was that he had not broken his faith. Yeah, he had not broken her faith because she kept the faith in her and in him, and he had kept that faith, thinking about her good behavior, her respect and honor. He also showed the same respect and honor. Yes, beta. I think the question is clear. I got disconnected. The question clear now? Yes. Next question. Will answer. Quickly raise your hands, beta. Come forward. Should participate. All of you must participate. Yes, Kanika, beta. Same hands I can see again and again raising, beta. Rest of the students also come forward and participate.
Yes, why did the paddler sign himself as Captain Von Stale? Yes. The Iron Master has invited the paddler to his house, mistaking him for Captain Von Stale. He was welcomed there and looked after as captain even after the reality became known. The paddler got a chance to redeem himself from dishonest ways by acting as an honorable captain.
Yes, why did the peddler sign himself as Captain Von Stelle? The Iron Master has invited the peddler to his house, mistaking him for Captain Von Stelle. And he was welcomed there and looked after as captain, even after the reality became known. The peddler got a chance to redeem himself from dishonest ways by acting as an honorable captain. He realized that he had been caught in the trap by the bait that was kept by the old crofter. But this girl had made him realize the goodness that he had in him. And He was raised to the level of the Captain von Stede by this girl, by the behavior of this girl at Whitmanson. So just to show her the faith and the trust that she put in him, and just to ensure her that he would come on the right track, leaving all the wrong things and the ways, he signed as Captain Homestead, because he also wanted to pay the same respect and honor back to the girl which she had shown him by treating him as captain. Here is coming to the questions given at the back. Yes, raise your hands quickly. Back questions. Harmeen, Taranpreet, Harmeen, Mansi Malhotra. Beta, please come forward for the discussions. Mansi Malhotra, please unmute yourself. Read the first question. No, same students again. Yes, Tisha. Yes, beta. Yes, Tisha, beta, please unmute yourself. Read the first question. Yes, beta.
Yes, ma'am. How does the peddler interpret the acts of kindness and hospitality shown by the crofter, the iron master, and his daughter? The peddler interprets the act of kindness.
Here you have to
and
mention
hospitality
separately for all the three. All crofter dealt, and iron master, and then his daughter. It will go into the form of a long question. Okay. Yes. Take separately. Okay. Yes. About crofter. Yes.
The person who sells the rat trap cheats the crofter as he provides him company in his loneliness and helps him pass the time by
yes, but how
because
did the,
he wants
how did the peddler yes, how does the peddler interpret the hospitality of the crofter? Crofter did everything good, but how does the peddler interpret that hospitality? Your question is this.
He cheats the crofter as he provides him company and loneliness and help him pass the time, as he wants to get a couple of kroners from the iron master, and because he was
yes, but first you will explain about the crofter, then about the iron master and his daughter. Okay, it is separate. When the crofter was very kind to him, he showed him good hospitality. He welcomed him. He offered him not only supper, but he shared all the secrets. He shared them back also. He told about his past life also.